Hello and welcome to Cupertino Insight. My name is Dorothy Cornelius. I'm City Clerk for the City of Cupertino and your host for this program. Tonight we'll take a brief trip to Cali Mill, hear about a new program called Waste Wheeler, pick up some tips on recycling, visit the first annual Cherry Blossom Festival as well as the city's Spring Festival, and learn some things about cable television in Cupertino. When the Cupertino City Council awarded the franchise for cable TV to United Cable Television, the city was fortunate to receive 2 channels for local and governmental programming. We have Channel 30, which you're watching tonight, for a government channel, and we also have Channel 3 for local access programming. That channel is available to those of you who are interested in getting into cable production. At the same time, Council also established a Cable TV Advisory Committee to oversee local programming and to handle funding for those interested in preparing programs for that channel. We had a chance to talk with Don McKenize, the chairperson of that committee, and Sherry Hutson, the Community Programming Coordinator.
The primary interest is in watching overseeing the use of Channel 3, the use of the public access studio, and making sure that the citizens of Cupertino realize the access studio is there and promoting the use of it. Other things that the committee's been asked by the city council to do, though, include overseeing the overall franchise. So things like rate increases, the service that's provided in general by all cable television franchises in the city, which includes both Gill and United. Those kinds of issues are looked at by the committee, but those take less of our time than the public access interests. Well, when we started off, we were quite concerned about the guidelines for how the Channel 3 studio was to be used. There's only one studio there. It's only available so many hours a day, and we were concerned about what kinds of programs were there, what kinds of residency requirements, again, the flavor of the programs, how much Cupertino uniqueness had to be into programs and stuff like that. So we put together some guidelines that were kind of our direction to the staff at De Anza College as to how we wanted that studio to be used.
The committee, like the staff here, is, I think, still in the invention stage. This whole thing is still something that we're creating every day, and every time a new problem arises or a new situation, we pretty much invent the solution to it. And I think the committee's point of view is that they have tried very hard to provide this animal called community television for the people of Cupertino, and they don't really know, I think, exactly why, except that they want to make sure that the citizens of Cupertino have the best possible in the way of a facility to use and a channel to watch. I think the biggest issue that we've worked with, aside from just the general organizational, getting the whole thing set up and figuring out when the meetings were going to be and who would attend and what we would do there, has been the whole issue of what to do with the money that the committee receives from the city.
When companies were proposing to set up cable systems in the city of Cupertino, each one submitted a bid, and United's bid suggested that they would contribute a portion of their franchise fee to the city, a portion of that to be used in the city's general fund as a franchise fee, and a portion of that to be used to support community programming. And so that portion that goes to community programming is what the committee is using. And as to how much this year, I think our income is going to be in the neighborhood of $40,000, something like that, which is a substantial sum of money.
The main organizational setup of how these grants are going to happen is still being considered. But I think that that will be a real important part of what the committee does. I think there are a lot of people who have worked with us during the past year who have spent a lot of money out of their own pocket to make television, and they were happy to because they wanted to do the program. But in a lot of cases, it was hard for them to come up with $7.26 every time they wanted to use the portable equipment and pay the insurance fee on it. And I think the committee can really help people like that, who really have an interest in making good television but are perhaps not going to be as likely to do it as much or as often because of the out-of-pocket expenses. I think that as people get more sophisticated in the kind of programs they do, they'll want to have more interesting sets and more interesting backgrounds. That kind of thing the committee can help them fund, and it'll make Channel 3 look better. It'll look more like a professional channel instead of just the blue curtain, this is Channel 3 television.
The challenges in the immediate future are to set up a grant system that works and that uses the money in a responsible manner. Like I said, there's a substantial sum of money there. United, in addition, has provided a studio. They've provided through DeAnza staff to run it. So there's a lot of resource there to be used, and I think we want to be sure that the city gets something back out of that it's used in a responsible way. So the immediate thing is looking at the grants and how we use that. We're also planning to use some of the money to better equip the studio so that there's better equipment there, and so the studio has more capabilities to put out a better quality program and more programs. I'm also particularly interested in there being more programs on Channel 3. I'd like to see the viewing hours extended and the number of programs increased. And how to do that with the limitations of the staff and the equipment and the studio we've got is one of the challenges I think we face.
I think what makes Channel 3 special is the people that work here. There's a real eclectic assortment of crazies who come here to do television, and they all have unique personalities. They're all interesting, and all of what they are comes through eventually in their program. And if you sit down and watch Channel 3 for a week, I think you'll see that. I think you'll see that the people are special, and that's what makes it fun.
Anyone interested in local programming or in applying for a grant should call Sherry Hutson at 996-4766. And those meetings of the Cable TV Committee are open to the public. They will be meeting Wednesday, April 18th in City Hall. Recently, the Los Altos Garbage Company conducted a pilot program in a certain section of Cupertino. Here with me today to talk about that program are Joe Renati from Los Altos Garbage and Steve Gorlick. Welcome to Cupertino Insight. Nice to have you both here. First of all, what is a waste wheeler program?
Well, Dorothy, the waste wheeler program is an innovative new way of disposing of garbage, not only for the customers, but for our men out in the trucks. That's been in existence approximately 5 years in several areas of California and throughout the United States, for that matter. It is a very efficient way of disposing of your garbage and keeping your neighborhood looking clean and aesthetically beautiful at all times. And it's a piece of equipment that can be handled very easily by a young child or a mother, or can be wheeled out.
Seniors too, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, seniors also. Anyway, we started this pilot program in January in a 620 customer area of Cupertino to see if it would be acceptable to our customers, as we feel it's one of the only new things that have come along in the way of disposing of refuse, not only for the customer, but for the man in the truck, as far as disposing of it into the vehicle itself without any physical exertion. It's really a worthwhile piece of equipment, and hopefully it it will be accepted or can be accepted by our customers, not only in Cupertino, but maybe throughout our whole service area.
What was the result of that pilot program for the company, Joe?
I'd like Mike Gorlick of Oakley & Associates, the firm that we hired to implement this program for us, to give you the statistics on that.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Joe. What we did, we implemented these things during the first week of January, Dorothy, and on the 16th of February, about 6 weeks into the program, we mailed out a survey to all customers. We received 83% return, which we felt was excellent on this type of survey. First question we asked the customers was, the waste wheeler more convenient to you than your former method of collection? Overwhelming 87% said yes, it was. The next question, we asked them did they find it easier when they were trimming, gardening. 70% said yes, 24% said no. Keep in mind, this was during February. A lot of people had not had the opportunity to use this in their yard. Now the collectors tell us there's all kinds of clippings and grass. They're using them quite a bit. The third question we asked whether the waste wheeler enhanced and improved the overall appearance of the neighborhood. And 85% said yes, it did. Our neighborhoods look a lot cleaner. The dogs no longer can get into these things and knock them over as they used to with the cans. And the big question was number 4, would you rather have this form of collection than your former method? 79% said yes, we want it. That tells us that people of Cupertino would like to have this container.
Then do you plan to continue the program and expand it throughout the city?
As we talk here Monday evening, this matter will go before the City Council for approval. If the City Council approves, we plan to implement it throughout the entire city. And as Joe mentioned,
On a voluntary basis.
most likely on a voluntary basis.
For those who do wish this type of collection, is it going to make a difference in their rates?
It could in the future. We don't have a track record at this point to indicate what the savings will be, but as we get down the road a few years, depending on the percentage of people that do get involved in this program, there could down the road be a change of equipment, maybe a reduction of the workforce, which could result in savings on their regular garbage bill.
So it may not necessarily make the rates go up, which most people would think. It could actually ultimately make them go down.
That's right.
Now, that's an added benefit to the program.
It won't make them go down, but it'll probably stabilize them.
I see. So what might occur because of inflation or just various increases, they won't receive that increase at that time?
Probably not.
Oh, that's delightful to hear. Oh. I want to thank both of you very much for being here with us today. I appreciate the information about the program. It's a nice looking, I hate to say garbage can, but I'm going to say garbage can, Joe.
No, that's all right.
Okay, thank
You can call it anything you like.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Dorothy.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'll be seeing you. Tied in with garbage collection, certainly, is recycling and the whole issue of solid waste management. Recently, the Council gave its support to the Great California Resource Rally. Here in the studio is Ken Newman to discuss the rally with us. Ken, welcome to Cupertino Insight.
Thank you.
And the first and obvious question is, what is a resource rally and what is its purpose?
Well, this will be the 4th year that the California State Solid Waste Management Board has supported and partially funded the Great California Resource Rally. It is a week of media-type events, public awareness events to let people know that there, 1, is a garbage crisis. Number 2, there are ways to go about it through recycling, try and reduce it. California spends somewhere around over $1 billion a year disposing of garbage. The amount is around 35 million tons that they have to deal with, so the biggest problem is landfill. So it is by bringing to the public that problem, and letting them know that through recycling they can possibly reduce that, can bring substantial savings to expenditures, also saving resources, which are just being buried every year.
What kind of activities go on during the rally?
This year, the South Bay has a number of activities in every city. In Cupertino, our recycling center will be holding an open house on the weekend of the 28th and 29th, which is the end of the rally, which goes from the 22nd to the 28th. And we will be having displays and tables set up to let people know what happens to the materials once they're brought to the center. Glass, for instance, where does that bottle go that they drop in the bin for us? And what types of products are made from the glass that's recycled, as well as the cans and newspapers. We also will try and let the people know what happens to the money that we receive by selling these materials and what types of community activities we were able to support. We've are planning on building a display to show different sports teams for the youth that we've supported, as well as all the other activities, such as donations that go to scholarship funds and YMCA, Senior Citizen Center, that type of thing.
Where is the recycling center in Cupertino?
Our recycling center is located at De Anza College, next to the tennis courts, on the south side, right off of McClellan Road.
Okay. You said your recycling center. Perhaps you ought to.
Well, the
explain.
recycling center was started approximately 12 years ago by the Jaycees of Cupertino. And it's been an ongoing project, one of the only ongoing JC projects around. Normally a JC project will, like our last talent show last year, was just a one-night event, but this event has been going on for 12 years and has been able to generate funds, which we were able to funnel back into the community.
Right. What are the hours of operation for the center?
We're open 10 to 4, Friday through Sunday.
And what kinds?
Monday, excuse me.
Oh, Monday, all right. What kinds of things do you accept?
We accept cans, bottles, newspapers, glass, cardboard, as well as used motor oil.
Okay, now is there anything special that you would like the people who might be watching to know? Like everything that's going on with this will take place at the recycling center?
Yes, our open house, which is the 28th and 29th, will be open to the public, our customers, as well as anybody else who'd like to come by and see what our center does, as well as what type of products are brought about through recycling. Like also mentioned, there are many other activities throughout the South Bay. One is on the 24th, there'll be an all-day South Bay commercial resource rally.
And
which
where's
will be
that?
a conference. That's at McCabe Hall in San Jose, which is designed to bring industry into the recycling, which your majority of waste is generated by industry, not your municipal residents. And they're trying to encourage recycling programs within industry. And there's a Terra wood waste biomass facility opening in San Jose where they'll buy your wood scraps, and instead of taking that to the landfill, they'll charge a substantially lower rate, and you can bring your wood, old shingles, chips, your lawn, not lawn clippings, but yard prunings, that sort of thing, to them, where they chop that up and make a fuel out of that. And there's another way just to save landfill space.
That's right. Also maybe save a tree.
Exactly.
Yes. All right. Thanks a lot for joining
All right,
us
thanks for
today,
having me.
Ken. I encourage all of you to take part in a recycling program. Recently, Cupertino Insight had the opportunity to take its cameras inside Cali Mill. That's that rather imposing structure on Stevens Creek Boulevard near the corner of De Anza Boulevard. I'd like to show you very briefly a tape of the production that goes on inside that mill. I really enjoyed that, and I'm pleased that we could bring it to you. As you probably know, last year our sister city, Toyokawa, Japan, donated 200 cherry trees, which were planted in Memorial Park. This year, the city's first annual Cherry Blossom Festival was held in conjunction with our Spring Festival. Let me show you a brief tape of the Spring Festival. Thanks for watching Cupertino Insight. Hope you enjoyed the program. Now let's go across the street to the Oaks to see the Cherry Blossom Festival.
As one of the judges here, what I'd like to do, the prizes that are being given out to the first place winners, they are receiving a first place trophy and movie passes from the Oaks Theater. Peggy Ackerman, she's age 7, from Lincoln School. Peggy, where are you? Here's your first place trophy. There you go. Those movie passes, 2 a month for a whole year. That's not bad. She's going to be very popular with her friends, I can see that. The second place winner in the 5, 6, and 7-year-olds is Eric Sutter, age 6, from Faria A+ school. Eric? The third place winner, Marion Hammond, age 7, from Collins School. Marion? With the white gloves and the hat, it justified the fact that when I went to leave this morning, I said to my wife, what do I wear? She said, oh, you have to wear a shirt and tie and a coat in this heat, but I had to greet a fine young lady like that, believe me. Also, I want you to know I'm wearing my cherry blossom pink shirt for the occasion, too. And she has a nice little thank you note here. Thank you very much, Marion. Now, the 8, 9, and 10-year-olds. First place winner, age 10, from Faria A+ school, Hero Smith. Also a Little Leaguer. I was over at their opening of the season today. So he's not only into art, baseball as well. Second place is Paula Ackerman, age 9, from Collins School. Now, third place, my notes tell me, 2 girls did this picture together. Susan Vanderkooy and Mary Ellen Wedgwood, both from Collins School. And finally, to the 11-plus-year-olds, first place, age 13, Yihui Lui. Iwe. Second place is Jan Tashiro, age 14, from Miller Junior High. In third place, Teresa Lynch, age 13. The Special Oaks Award winner, Deanne Smith, age 10 of Faria A+, is not here today. She'll be given the award later. Now, the Mayor's Award. I had to make sure it was the right one, but yes. Kevin Kumagai, age 10 of West Valley School. He's also a ball player. I met him this morning. Kevin?